Okay, so today we're going to look at the Spanish exploration and colonization PowerPoint presentation. I'm going to keep it in this mode and make it as large as I possibly can because the stop sharing button will cover up the words. Okay, so slide 2, Columbus Day. Why is it the first day celebrated? Why is this day celebrated? It is the most famous explorer, Columbus. Christopher Columbus is widely credited for discovering the New World while sailing for Spain. Columbus Day was first recognized on October 12, 1792. The first Columbus Day was organized by the Society of St. Tammany to celebrate the 300-year anniversary of Columbus reaching the Americas. It is recognized on the second Monday of October. After Columbus returned to Spain, the Spanish were very active in exploring and colonizing the Americas. Unlike the French, however, the Spanish focused their exploration and colonization efforts in what is now Central and South America, as well as the southern U.S. and Mexico. At its peak, the Spanish Empire stretched from the southern tip of America all the way to northern California. It was so long that if it were a country today, it would be the second largest country in the world. While Columbus is the most famous explorer, numerous other explorers from Spain made significant contributions in the exploration of the Americas as well. Amerigo Vespucci, 1454 to 1512. Similar to Columbus, Vespucci was also born in Italy and sailed as an explorer for Spain. Around 1502, it was Vespucci who was able to prove that the lands Columbus had founded were not part of or on the continent. The term America was adopted to name the lands of the New World in honor of Vespucci. Americas in Latin for Vespucci, first name Amerigo. John Ponce de Leon, 1474 to 1521, sailed with Columbus on his second voyage to the Americas in 1493, explored Puerto Rico and became its first governor, led the first expedition of what would later become Florida. In 1521, he attempted to establish a Spanish colony in what is now Florida. The natives fiercely opposed such a colony, and he was mortally wounded in a battle with them and died shortly thereafter. Conquistadors. As illustrated by the death of Ponce de Leon, the Spanish had hostile relations with the Native Americans, which contributed to the risk of conquistadors. A conquistador was a Spanish conqueror, someone who was in search of territory to conquer. The two most famous conquistadors were Hernan Cortez and Francisco Pizarro. Hernan Cortez conquered the Aztecs in what is now Mexico. Francisco Pizarro conquered the Incas in what is now Peru. The conquistadors, the conquest of Cortez and Pizarro led to Spain becoming Europe's wealthiest and most powerful nations throughout the 1500s. The Aztecs possessed large gold and silver mines, which Cortez and the Spanish controlled after their conquered. after they conquered the Aztecs. A decade later, after Pizarro conquered the Incas, he took possession of their valuable silver mines. Despite Ponce de Leon's effort 4 decades earlier in 1565, the Spanish successfully established the first permanent colony in what is now the U.S., St. Argentine. St. Argentine is located in what is now the state of Florida. It was established by the Spanish in order to discourage other European nations from trying to colonize in the region. It would remain the only colony in what is now the U.S. for several decades. And that's the end of the slide. Make sure you go back and read as much as you need to answer your questions. You will also need this slide to answer your vocabulary and a question and answering assignment.